What's up, folks? In this video, we'll be talking about 10 countries where Americans are banned from in 2024. Some may not even know what these countries have to offer, but politics often keeps them off limits for American travelers. So stay tuned, as there are some pretty incredible women living in some of these countries that Americans never get to see or talk to. Before we start, make sure to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon so you don't miss any of our exciting videos. Now, let's dive into the video. Number 10. North Korea. North Korea is still one of the most secretive countries in the world. It has a very strong government, but also very beautiful sceneries and temples that depict the ancient part of India. Mount Paektu is simply a beautiful place of natural splendor. This volcano, which is situated on the border with China, has an altitude of 744 mmsLM and has a crater lake called Heaven Lake. North Korea is a country well known for its antagonistic political image, while the surroundings of Mount Paektu are all pure and untouched. North Korea also has some fine buildings and interesting historical sites. Pyongyang was once the residence of the first leader of Korea, known as Kim Il-sung. Today, however, it has become a sort of a super mausoleum for Kim Il-sung and his son, Kim Jong-il. This huge building may be considered as a political symbol, but it is also an architectural one. They have abundant monuments and temples that define the country's culture. The Poyeonsa Temple on Mount Myohyang is a very sample of Korean architecture of Buddhist buildings. From the Goryeo dynasty, Jeongseum Temple showcases a historical view of the ancestor worship and religious beliefs of the Korean people of days long past. Women in North Korea have crucial functions in society. Even under the repressive government, women are also educated and can be found in many careers, including the medical field, education, engineering, and science fields. It is therefore important to note that the government preaches gender equality, and women are depicted in different jobs, as well as cultural activities such as music and dance, which are important in North Korea. Nevertheless, much attention should still be paid to women since they encounter numerous difficulties. It means that society has a rigid set of expectations for them that reduces their choices and possibilities. Defectors, other international groups, paint a grim picture of gender inequality, personal freedom. A traveler makes a fleeting discovery amid the beauty of North Korea. The sex of North Korean women. Stories of resilience and struggle. With all the difficulties in traveling to the country, the people who have already been there and seen its landscapes and culture objects believe that North Korea is a rather ambiguous country. Number 9. Iran. Iran is undoubtedly one of the oldest civilizations known to man, with history dating back thousands of years. It is a rich country with beautiful culture alongside wonderful cities and wonderful people. The capital of Tehran demonstrates both old buildings and new construction. The Grand Bazaar is one of the places that attracts curious tourists. It is a vast, unorganized retail sector wherein everything right from spices and carpets to jewelry and handicrafts can be found. They identified the city of Isfahan as having some of the most beautiful Islamic architecture. This art was excellently depicted in the Imam Mosque and the Sheikh Lutfollah Mosque. Other attractive sights of Isfahan are the bridges of Seoseipol and Kaju, which become beautifully illuminated at night and provide the viewer with magnificent scenery. Iranians are predominantly hospitable and embrace the guest right cultural practice. They are very kind and they are always willing to help the guests, and it will give you a special feeling that this is your trip to Iran. Iranian women are very well educated and active in both society and economy. They do the work of doctors, engineers, scientists, and artists. Rather, women perform higher than men in university entrance examinations and constitute the majority in some areas of study. But they also have issues like having to wear uniforms to school and very limited personal freedoms. However, Iranian women remain fighting for their rights, contributing to the country to the best of their abilities. Iran boasts of thousands of years' history, beautiful architecture, and the good-hearted nature of its people, as well as powerful and successful women. Iran becomes absolutely another country for those who are able to see its beauty, learn about its history, and communicate with its people. Number 8. Syria. Even though the country might be in a state of chaos right now, Syria still has a lot to offer. When it comes to historical and cultural heritage, it is a true treasure chest of buildings and structures. Palmyra City stands out as one of such architectural wonders due to its superbly designed historical structures that depict the gone golden epoch. For the past couple of weeks, Syria's heritage site Palmyra seems to have transported viewers back in time with its majestic temples, adorned walls and columns, and a rich history of civilizations. Similarly, in Aleppo, a citadel of Aleppo points at the historicity of Aleppo. This ancient castle stands like a guardian atop a hill overlooking Aleppo, ancient and stoic as time itself. Not far from there, the Umayyad Mosque, with its majestic structures and peaceful courtyards, captivates the attention of every onlooker. The almost stereotyped designs and enormous space inside the mosque give a view of Syria's cultural and religious background. It is important to note that Syrian women have been active participants of the society throughout the history. Syrian women, through ages up to the present, continue to be the educators, the physicians, the supportive communities. Conflict and displacement have had a severe impact on Syrian women, but women in Syria remain strong and tough. They acknowledge a significant number who engage in reconstruction and development of their communities, hence the face of hope. Cultural heritage and the role and position of women as a social group are essential even in critical situations. The latter view is supported by the ancient sites of Syria that point to the existence of the civilization and the strength of Syria, while the former is represented by the symbol of the strong Syria woman. In passing through the process of achieving and maintaining stability in Syria, it is fundamentally crucial to acknowledge the utmost vitality of the culture, as well as continuous empowerment of Syrian women. It is in their tales that we celebrate the possibility of a better future and the existence of the memory of the past and dreams of the future in resonance. Number 7. Libya. Although Libya is known for its wars, it has wonders of gold that speak to its glorious past. Among these are Roman architectures that are simply exquisite and bring back memories of Rome and other places in Italy. Amongst the two sites, Leptis Magna and Sabratha, are very remarkable and conspicuous as monuments of the ancient civilizations of Libya. Visitors to these ancient cities will be able to imagine the rich past with great temples, beautiful mosaics, and regularly restored amphitheaters. Aside from its many historical attractions, Libya also has more natural endowment in the form of Sahara Desert, which is a spectacular scene of nature. There is simply something magical about the vision of endless sweeping sands of golden color, dotted with mountains of moving sand. Despite the hot weather and the long barren desert stretches notwithstanding, the Sahara supports life forms which makes the country even more attractive for tourism. In Libya, women had essential functions in various occasions in history. Women have been role models, and they are always involved in provision of family care and also community involvement. Women in Libya are strong and resilient despite the difficult conditions they live in. They are considered as the pillars of their families and communities. They are teachers, doctors, nurses, and advocates for change. Women have played a significant role in Libya throughout various conflicts and unstable periods. Some have been at the forefront of bringing back prosperity to their communities while also fighting for peace and stability. If Libya embraces the roles of women by accepting the fact that they play imperative roles in the society, then the society will attain the greatest potential that it can achieve. Number 6. Yemen is a country located at the southern end of the Arabian Peninsula, which has great resources that remain undiscovered. A case in point is an island of Socotra, which is considered to be one of the most amazing places on the planet due to its unique biodiversity. Here, we are met with a seemingly alien landscape where numbers of dragon's blood trees can be found. As the island is disconnected from the mainland, Many rare plant and animal types are able to live there, which makes the island very interesting for those who are interested in nature and science. In the historic city of Sana'a, Old Yemen, and the country's capital, the time does not exist in a maze of narrow streets and high mud houses. The old city is a World Heritage by UNESCO and gives a glimpse of the architectural heritage of Yemen, from the balconies on houses decorated with exquisite wooden carvings to the colorful shops of exotic spices and crafts throughout the city. Sana'a has a charm of old times that fascinates people. Even in the midst of the conflict and crisis that Yemen is going through, women have significant responsibilities within their families and society. Even though social pressures are high, Yemeni women are often strong and find ways to manage their roles as housewives and enjoy the opportunities of the contemporary world. The female gender of Yemen has been on the forefront of representing change in the country by simple activities such as taking care of their homes and families to enrolling for education and establishment. Over the past decade, women in Yemen have faced a large number of threats and challenges due to various conflicts and instabilities in the country, as well as other factors that hinder the progression of women's rights. Still, despite these challenges, women remain the best fighters for peace, freedom, and justice. Through focusing on the feminist development agenda and providing women in Yemen with access to education and economic opportunities, Yemen has the chance to allow society to flourish and prepare for Yemen's transition to another level. Number 5. Afghanistan. Surrounded by tall mountains and ancient valleys, Afghanistan stands as a prime destination with numerous cultural and natural heritages ready to be discovered. Within the beautiful Bamiyan Valley, the enduring ruins of the country's Buddhist civilization seem like incomprehensible sculptures signifying an age long gone. Here, one can see the statues of the giant Buddhas that at some point of time used to adorn the Afghan landscape, a mute testimony to the fact that Afghanistan has had a history of religious tolerance. They are all tragic figures, but their landmarks serve as a living testimony to the varied and rich fabric of faith in the nation. Keep traveling deep into the Afghan heart, and you will find Band-e-Amir National Park, the place where you will be amazed by the wonders of nature. Beyond the mountains lies a chain of lakes called Band-e-Amir that has deeply impressed tourists with its unbelievable color of water. It is a bright blue or turquoise shade. Natural rock formations create crystal clear pool areas in the lovely bodies of water that are a true oasis in the midst of a long history of violence in the country. Afghanistan is a beautiful country with fascinating and unique culture. The designs and intricate patterns of Afghan carpets, made with the help of family legacy, reflect the talent of the country's artisans and cultural vision. Each rug is unique and represents a specific story illustrated through symbols and colors, and reflects Afghanistan's history and culture and the determination of its people. Women are central to the society of Afghanistan, and they play a vital part in the society in several ways. It must also be recognized that Afghan women are an extremely resilient population, and these women possess an incredible amount of perseverance. Afghan women are the epitome of strength and resilience, from managing their homes and families to seeking education and establishing businesses despite the circumstances. Although some improvements have been done in the past years in order to empower women in Afghanistan, there are still a lot of things that need to be accomplished. This, we believe, will enable Afghanistan to invest in the girl-child education, which is currently not being considered a priority, adhere to gender equality, and also see that Afghanistan women get to participate in the economic and socio-political aspects of life in Afghanistan. Number 4. Somalia. The land of poetry and oral tradition has been referred to as the nation of poets, because in Somalia, telling a story was not just a mere to pass time, but a tradition that has been passed down from generation to generation, telling stories of love and courage that echo the Somali land. Mogadishu is at the heart of Somalia, and the name itself brings to mind visions of colorful markets, vibrant culture, and ancient history. This long stretch of clean coastline has inviting beaches to sit on the sandy shores and enjoy the sun and the surf. Amongst the ruins of Mogadishu, which now resemble relics of an ancient civilization, there are buildings that give a glimpse of the once grand and majestic city of a bygone era. In Somali culture, girls are considered as important guardians and custodians of the cultural norms of the nation. They are raised listening and reciting the epic poetry about ancient heroes, their valorous deeds, and governance to be transmitted to the next generations. Contrary to the contradictory circumstances that Somali girls find themselves in, they bravely and vigorously pursue their goals, just like their ancestors who managed to survive the winds of change with dignity and confidence. With its vast natural beauties and cultural diversity, Somalia is a beautiful country, but there is a hidden truth behind its beauty. Despite the various opportunities availed to the girl child in the country, many still face challenges in accessing education, healthcare, or economic opportunity. Prejudicial policies and stereotypes on gender roles can significantly reduce their chances of becoming active citizens and fulfilling their ultimate human potential. It is not only about equal opportunities for Somali girls, it is also about the promise of national development when such girls are productively engaged. Somalia can address and rectify this by focusing on the education and health of their female population, while also increasing their participation in the job market, as this will give them the power and tools to create a successful future for the nation. They are our heritage and guardians of our nation's culture for generations to come. For Somalia is a girl. Number 3, Venezuela is a land of rich diversity and beauty, a truly wondrous destination for any visitor. Even though it is plagued by political instability, this South American nation is rightfully endowed with natural wonder that inspires and awes the spirit. In the very center of Venezuela's natural beauty, there is the Angel Falls, heavenly waterfall that flows from the clouds majestically and powerfully. With the Angel Falls being the world's highest uninterrupted waterfall, Venezuela is a shining example of God's majestic beauty and natural power. It has steep rock faces with frigid waterfalls outlined with mists and vibrant green bodies of water that seem almost holy and gets adventurers who come to see its beauty from all over. Southeast of Angel Falls, Venezuela's savanna and tropical rainforest host an endless array of habitats. A glacier at the foot of the Andes Mountains, the peaks of the tabletop mountain Roraima, Amazon jungles, and savanna. Here, they live in all ways possible. Native and foreign plants and animals decorating every inch of land. Red signifies the many species of orchids that can be found in cloud forests, while blue symbolizes the many animals that inhabit Venezuela, from jungle floors to high mountain peaks such as the jaguar. Girls are the mirrored reflection of Venezuelan culture and are the face of determination and ability to fight against all odds. Venezuelan girls are strong, brave feminine creatures that have to deal with various challenges trying to survive everyday life. They are the offspring of the revolution, the children of the changemakers of their country, men and women whose sacrifices continue to steer the destiny of their nation. However, despite the natural wonders and rich ethnic culture, Venezuela continues to face a serious issue. Statistics indicate that many girls around the country still face challenges accessing education, healthcare, and employment opportunities. This has been in form of discrimination and gender-based violence that hinders them from thriving in and meeting their potential. It is not just about giving Venezuelan women and girls their rights. It is also about giving Venezuela a chance to be all that it can be. To achieve this, Venezuela can invest in the education, healthcare, and especially in the economic advancement of the female population by unleashing their potential for creativity and talent for the betterment of the whole country. Since girls are the caretakers of Venezuela nature bequest, they should always do everything possible to keep the ecological treasures safe for future generations. Number 2, Russia. Russia, a unique country of amazing landscapes and contradictions, opens its arms for travelers and invites to plunge into the world of Russian culture and history. This state, with vast boundaries and unique cultures it has to offer, is eye candy. From the magnificent cities of Moscow and St. Petersburg to the pure natural setting of Lake Baikal. Russia is a country with long-established cultural traditions, and its main cultural centers are definitely Moscow and St. Petersburg, which abound in magnificent palaces and cathedrals, where glorious history of Russia is on display in numerous magnificent museums. Across the globe, Moscow is home to the famous Kremlin, which showcases Russian strength and survival, as well as the Red Square, which encompasses all the activities that take place in the city. The Winter Palace and Golden Domes of Peter and Paul Cathedral in St. Petersburg take travelers back to an era of history filled with regal weddings and royal events. Outside the cities, Lake Baikal and the rest of Russia is an incomparable place of beauty in the natural world. Cause Baikal is the deepest freshwater lake in the world, it amazes with its purity and grandeur. Olkhon Island. Lake Baikal is a paradise of rugged cliffs and peaceful forests that offer a home to the wildlife and a refuge for people who are looking for solace in nature. Girls are essential in Russian society as everything that defines the Russian nation is in them. They hold the hope and tenacity of the Russian society. In colleges and universities, and in politics and business, the Russian girl is involved in all aspects of life, and the Russian mind constantly pushes forward, improving the country. However, though they still have a great impact on society, there are still certain barriers that affect Russian girls' inclusion in society. There are numerous inequalities that still exist, especially in the spheres that try to define and limit the education or employment of the girl child or the female gender at large. There are still many cases of discrimination against girls, as well as violence against them. Thus, there is a critical concern with regard to protection and promotion of such girls' rights and welfare. It is not about feminism or righting an unjust situation. It is a fundamental necessity for the transformation of Russia as a nation. Through investing in the education, health, and empowerment of girls and women in Russia, this nation will have at its disposal the essential force of creativity for rapid, positive development of all citizens. With being the protectors of Russia's treasure and beauty, girls are the key figure in various activities directed at the preservation of the nation's heritage for future generations. Number 1. Saudi Arabia. It is a country of extremes with deep connections to its ancient past and a thriving future that makes Saudi Arabia tempting for everyone who wants to see new places and new things. It is not just a country known for its abundant oil reserves, but it also has many hidden treasures of remarkable historical and architectural value. Symbolizing the kingdom's cultural resiliency and resilience, Al Ula is home to the vibrant Nabatean city that bears a strong resemblance to its Jordanian counterpart Petra. With its beautiful tombs chiseled out of sandstone cliffs and ingenious rock-hewn architecture, Al Ula tells part of the story of a region where trade routes were once vibrant and civilizations were thriving, exploring Riyadh mixing of ancient and contemporary aspects of urban living in Saudi's largest city. Here, soaring towers coexist with historical forts and palaces, truly encapsulating the notion of Vision 2030 and how the kingdom has become a major international business and technology center. Culturally, Riyadh is a fascinating city with much history and progressive outlook on building related to ancient Diriyah and modern edifices that punctuate King Abdullah Financial District. Further along the Red Sea coast lies the port city of Jeddah, which retains much of its traditional appeal while being firmly set within the modern world. From Al-Balad, with its narrow streets and houses made of coral stones, and up to the latest Corniche promenade, Jeddah is supposed to witness the latest Saudi kingdom's maritime and cultural life. Through their display of motivation and courage, girls in KSA symbolize the spirit of the nation and its future. Even though the society expects girls to take care of their families and not invest in education and work, now the young Saudi girls are challenging these stereotypes and investing in education and careers for the development of their country as well. However, the difficulties survive because inequality between men and women is felt in most walks of life in Saudi Arabia. Traditional norms and legal restrictions can act as barriers to girls' schooling, work, and public participation, hence hindering their full potential and impeding progress toward gender equality. Girl empowerment in Saudi Arabia is a very important component in unlocking the kingdom's full potential for an inclusive society. Investing in the education, health, and well-being of girls will have Saudi Arabia benefiting from the talent and creativity that its female population contributes to driving innovation and leading economic growth and social progress. Being the custodians of Saudi Arabia's culture and change, the future of the kingdom and people lies in its girls. And there you have it. 10 countries where Americans can't visit in 2024. Even though these places are off limits, they are still full of beauty and rich culture. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon for more interesting content. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the world from your screen.